All right, we're going to the whiteboard today. This is really fun for me to be able to share what we're going to buy into and do throughout our season, and really what I hope that everybody can do from third graders on up through varsity in the high school program. The the design of the system is that it doesn't matter your age or really your skill level in a lot of ways, that you can maximize your gifts and talents by using this over and over again. So there's some simple principles to what we call our system. The system, it's derived from LMU, early 90s with Paul Westhead. Go back and watch some of those. I'll include some links in the description. Uh, they hold the record for the most points ever scored in NCAA history. And it's not because they were the most talented. They just bought in and did it. So the system is really a transition fast break. There's a couple principles that we'll go through, and then we'll touch on each of them. But when you look at it and you're going to watch us play this year, you're going to think it can't be that simple. And really it is. And that's the beauty of it, because I know there's a lot of varying skill levels, and it really is that simple. So let's dive into it. One of the first principles of this is that every possession we're running. And a lot of coaches think that they want to run, but the system forces you to run every possession. You can't do it for 20 minutes. You can't do it for 24 minutes. You can't do it for 30 minutes. You have to do it for all 32 minutes. It's an all-out sprint for 32 minutes every single time down the court. Some coaches will think that maybe you can do this in spurts, and maybe for 4 minutes out of each quarter we'll do it. It's just really not as effective. If you're going to commit to this, you have to be all in. And really what we're going to ask of you is that it is all in. And we want girls coming up playing in such a way that running is just a part of what they do, that this transition is just a part of what they do. And once we get this down, basketball becomes really fun because you can do other stuff with it. But it takes all 32. So you have to be committed to all 32 minutes. By the end of the game, we will wear down our opponent by how much we run. I've seen it over and over watching tape and other teams doing this. I played against a team in college. And this isn't the Grinnell system and where you're trying to shoot only threes. No, we're playing basketball, but we're running every single time. And I've seen teams make 10 to 15 point runs in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, or in college the second half, because teams and better teams will stay with you, stay with you, stay with you. They may even get up by 10 to 15, but it's that last spurt where they're just not in shape, and then all of a sudden your team explodes because they're in the better shape and they're just used to running, and you go on a 10 and 15 point run by the end. We're looking for the best available shot. Now, we're not saying that it's going to be the perfect shot. We're not looking for the perfect shot. We're looking for the best available shot. And really, this falls on your point guard or your guard. It forces your guard to make great decisions. We'll talk about that a little later, but they have to be the ones to find the advantage and say, hey, that's our best available shot. And when the ball comes, it has a message on it, and it's shoot. So if we're not getting the best available shot after 1 or 2 passes, as a coach, it's your prerogative and really the best use of the system to get on that guard saying, hey, you have to make the decision that leads to the best case advantage for the best available shot. All players have to shoot. They have to be geared to shoot. You can't hide in this. So this really forces you to work on your skills. You have to be able to shoot. Every player is catching to shoot. And that's a really point I want to focus on. When we're catching, it forces you to really work on how you're catching, right? Are we catching on balance? Are we catching with our left foot in front of our right foot, with our right foot behind if we're a right-handed shooter? You know, being on balance, stepping into every catch, vice versa if we're left-handed. It forces every player to be really consistent, and as a coach, it becomes really simple that every time we catch, it's the same way every time, because every player is saying, we're catching to shoot. And really, as a byproduct, you become a threat, and the defense reacts to that because they're thinking, hey, this is a scoring opportunity. This doesn't work if your players don't buy into running for each other. There's going to be possessions where, maybe the same girl shoots 3 times in a row, or maybe one girl doesn't shoot in the last 6 possessions. But if she doesn't buy into this, or they don't buy into running for each other every possession, it's not going to work. And it really promotes a team atmosphere. When this is working, you'll have everybody shooting and scoring a lot more than they would in a traditional walk-up offense, just because you're getting more possessions and there's more opportunity. But if they're not running for each other, you're not going to create opportunities for your teammates. So if they're not bought into this, it's not going to work. So as a coach, you have to instill the idea of you're running for your teammates to get open, because you never know when your chance is going to come. So that's really a huge aspect, and it's fun because it promotes teamwork. It's not a passing fast break. I won't write it up there. This is a score. We've talked on a little bit. We're not looking to make 6 or 7 passes. We're looking to score. And when that ball is passed to you, it has a message on it. Shoot. We're on balance. We're shooting. Our eyes are to the rim. Our wrists are locked and cocked. We're on balance. It's going to be no surprise to everybody that we're catching to shoot. And then if we don't have anything, there better be simple up fake, couple dribbles, and then it makes it really easy from a rebounding perspective. You can't do this unless you're getting 2 shots. And that's really a key. We're trying to get 2 shots on every possession to their 1. And that's a message girls will buy into. Our goal is to get 2 shots every possession to their 1. And if we're not doing this, we're not running the system right. So when that ball goes up, it's not a secret. It has a message on it, shoot. So when it goes up, it's coming with that message. Okay, and then we'll move into more of the system. But these are the principles. We're running all for 32. We're not handpicking. We're going 32 minutes, and you have to commit to it. It will work. Give it time, give it patience. You'll see. And sometimes it feels a little out of control, but as a coach, you got to release that some if we're going to run the system right, because your players will make plays and they'll learn how to run and run and run. It becomes really fun. We watched it over the summer. We're looking for the best available shot, not the perfect shot, best available. All players have to have the mindset of ready to shoot. We're catching on balance. We're catching it the same way every time. And we're making simple pump fakes. We're not doing anything crazy. We don't have a shot, simple pump fakes, quick passes. We'll get into that. We have to run for each other. Players will have to buy in. They may not get the ball for 6 possessions, 7 possessions, but that doesn't change how hard we run. It really promotes selflessness, which you would think it's counterintuitive, but because players are naturally geared, if I want the ball, you can train them to say, hey, you will get the ball, but it's going to take you running and running and running, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come. And they'll watch their teammates get shots because of it. And then we need 2 shots to 1. Now that we've gone over a couple of the principles, it's really, now we're moving into the scheme of the system, and you're going to be shocked at how simple it is. Before we go, I didn't feel like I did a great job of explaining the catch is really the most important when we're talking to our players. And if we're not working on how to start and how to stop, we're doing our players a disservice. I'll do a separate video, probably on the court with some of my players. But this is paramount. Every girl's got to catch on balance. And we're not teaching none of that 2 feet, catching ball in the air, excuse my language, crap. It's not good. It's not good until you probably even get up into the elite college levels and professional levels. Can girls do it? Really, we're teaching permanent pivot foot. You know, if you're right-handed, left foot's your permanent pivot foot. If you're left-handed, your right foot's your permanent pivot foot. Everything's going off of that. And when we're catching it, it's solid, where we're stepping into every shot. We're not landing 2 feet. We're stepping in, right? And we're looking, ball placement and position is huge every single time. That is number 1. Nothing works unless we do that, or else your players are just running around without any fundamentals. Because everything starts from when we catch it. But let's get into it. So, the system. Let's say we're on defense right now. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say we're just sitting in a zone. Normally the 5 would be in the middle, but whatever for in this case. This is a numbered fast break, which actually makes subbing really easy, and it makes girls accountable, and they actually learn to buy into their role, and they want to get really good at that position. One thing I've learned about difference between girls and guys just want to be the guy. They don't care what they are. They don't really care about the positions. They believe they can play the 1 through the 5. They have unabashed confidence. Where girls, they actually like a little more of that structure. And so if you tell, hey, you're going to be the 2, they're going to really buy into being the 2, and they're going to do the things in order to be that 2. Or if you say, hey, I think you're a 3 right now, but I need you to be the 4, they're going to work on those things in order to be the 4 because it's very structured. So it helps in that way. But like I said, we're trying to keep every shot 2 to their 1. So they get only 1 shot. It all starts from a rebounding standpoint. And then we're trying to get 2. But the fast break, the most important is how it starts. Our 4 is going to be our inbounder. And they're the only ones who get to touch the ball out of the basket. Obviously, if there's a miss and there's somebody else getting the ball, we'll get into that a little later. But if there's a made basket, it all starts with the 4. We're trying to get the ball out of the basket between 0.7 seconds and 1.5 seconds. And we'll actually bring out a stopwatch to practice, and we'll time our girls where they get the ball out of the net and have to go. We're going to, most of the time, if we have a right-handed point guard, we're going to do a right side fast break. If we have a left-handed point guard, we'll do a left side fast break. But let's say our point guard's Karsten Kiefer. She's going to be blow the socks off the world, and that's not to put any pressure on her, but she's got all the skills for this. So we're going to do a right side fast break. So if the hoop's right here, we're getting that ball out of the net. Literally, the 4 is getting it out of the net, and she's running as fast as she can until she can put that right foot right out of bounds. And as she's taking the ball and turning, the whole time she's turning and going out of bounds, she's looking and scanning right here, this cone. She knows her 1 is making the C cut every single time to the right side of the court. C cut all the way up with her shoulders turned this way. And as she's making the C cut, this 4 is turning her body the whole way. If we're going that way, as she's stepping out of bounds, she's already surveying and she's catching with her right foot. This is really important. We're just clearing the backboard, just 1 foot, and we're making this pass as quickly as we can. Even young girls can do this. I've seen them. You can do it and drill it, drill it, drill it. It's going to look awful at first, but you're going to find 1 or 2 girls who become really good at this. As we're doing this, as we're starting the fast break, the 2 is getting wide, and they're going what I call deep wing. We're not going all the way to the corner. Remember that we're trying to get that ball up as quickly as we can. We're pushing the ball up at the varsity level between 4 to 6 seconds. That's kind of we better be getting the ball up to one of our players 4 to 6 seconds. But our 2 is always going to the right side. Okay, this is our best shooter. She's running up the right side. She's looking at it the whole way from about half court on. She's expecting this has to be your best shooter. So your 2 is your best shooter. Okay, your 1 is your best guard, fastest. Not necessarily your best scorer, but makes your best decisions. Remember, all of it falls on her. We're passing for shots. This isn't a passing transition. We're passing to shoot. So if she doesn't make the right read and read the advantage correctly, it's on her. This girl has to be your leader. You have to be able to get on her, and she can take it. Because if she can't, you're going to have to find someone else because all the decisions rest on her. Your 3, always going left side in a right side fast break here. You're going on the left side, and in the system, we're going to the block. So as the 1's taking 1 or 2 dribbles, her first read is up to the 2 for a shot. If she doesn't have the 2 for a shot, her next read is this 3 running all the way to the block on the opposite side, the left side, and that's the 1's next read. So we're here, this is the 2, this is now the 3. It's going to go either here or 3 over the top. We get this quite a bit. We have some really good athletes who can do this. From this position, if the 3 doesn't get it, the 3 is going to belly out to kind of that deep wing on the other side. 2 is going to stay there. And if 1 doesn't have it, they're going to take 1 or 2 dribbles to make this decision. If If they don't have it, they're going to attack, and they're going to attack until they get stopped. They're also a scoring threat. So they're going to go until they get stopped, and all the while the 5 is staying level with the 1. About rail, we call the key extended. These are the rails. Rail width, so if the 1's here, the 5's going to stay even. If the 1 goes here, the 5's going to stay even. If the 1 goes here, the 5's going to stay even. So I'm going to draw that again. Find my towel. It's really not complicated. You're going to fall in love with how simple this is. So will the girls. So now, let's draw them to where they should be. We have the 2. The 3 went into the block. Let's say she didn't get it after 1 or 2 dribbles from the 1. Say the 1's right here. 5's going to be even. And after the 4 inbounds, they're going to belly up into the center and they're going to trail. This is really important that they get to the center. The 1, if they can't hit the 2 or the 3 after 2 or 3 dribbles, the varsity we'd like 1 or 2, but maybe at the younger levels it's going to take 2 or 3. They're going to attack. They're going to attack until they get stopped. As they're attacking, the 5 is staying even. This 3 is now out deep wing. And now we're in a great position because now we're going. The 4 is going to trail the 5 right over the top of the 5. So if the 5's right here, the 4 is going to be about right there. The reason being, the 5 has a couple rules. Stay even with the 1. As we get to a point where the 1 stops and we can't get this 1-5 pass, meaning the 1 has the ball and it goes to the 5 is going to shoot over to the block, diagonally, always the right block, post hard, and the 4 steps in right behind. What this causes, and why this is so important as an action, where the 5 is parallel with the 1, okay, we don't get it, boom, go to the block immediately, and the 4 steps in, we get so many shots from our 4 right there. So your 4 has to be able to make this inbound pass between 0.7 seconds and 1.2 seconds and be able to hit a 3-point, and maybe make up fake 1 or 2 dribbles and create something over here. So your 4 is really important, and then your 5 is going to be obviously somebody who can stay even with the ball and then post up and get something right here. So that's the basic structure of the system. It really doesn't get more complicated than that. It is a numbered fast break. So say we're right here. Ball goes in. Our 4 is always the one to take it out. Remember, they're taking it out on the right side. They're turning as they're getting it, taking 1 step with their right foot, looking as they're taking this out of bounds. This 1 is making a C cut up the court already on the run. 2's running wide. 3's looping on the left, going to the other block. 5 staying even with the 1. 4 is out here. So in action, how we number these, and we'll actually call these out in practice, is we'll call out 1-2. Well, you can probably guess it's not that complicated. 1-2 is where the 1 catches it on a run. We practice getting it out of the hoop on the run, hitting the 1, and then 1-2 is getting to that 2 up the court. If we call 1-3, guessing you figured it out already, it's not exactly rocket science. 1 right here, this is the 3, we're hitting the 3 over the top. 1-3, that's the 1-3 action. Now, this is where it gets a little fun. Let's say we're the 1, 2, we weren't able to hit the 2 or the 3 over the top. Remember the 2 first, 3 over the top second. If we go to the 5 here with the 4 trailing over the top on the rail, this is called, if we hit the 5 right here, 1-5 on top. We hit the 5 right here, she has free reign. Remember, we're passing to score. We're not passing to pass. This is on the 1. If she makes the wrong read, she can either shoot or she's catching it. 1-2, up fake, and she's driving as hard as she can in here to make a play. If they suck in, which they will, we're going to hit the 2. We're going to hit the 1 after they find a window. So that's called 1-5 on top. So we've already gone our actions we've gone 1-2, we've gone 1-3, we've gone 1-5 on top. If when we're drilling this, we want that 1. Remember, centering up initially and then coming over the top. If we want the 1 to take it, we call this, and they take it to the hole, or they shoot a mid-range right here, we call this action 1-1. The 1 pass to themselves. They made that decision. And that happens quite a bit too. Carson's going to get a lot of action from just taking it herself, beating her person, and maybe hitting a 15-footer, a 10-footer, or getting all the way to the hoop for a foul or something. Another way that we can do it, another rule for the 5, if we hit the 2 and they don't have a shot immediately, that 5 is diving to the hoop, diving to that block, that right side block, and they're posting up hard. So if we hit the 2 and the defense is playing behind the 5, or maybe they're late, that action's called a 1-2-5 action. And then remember the 4 stepping in right behind. That's a really great action. It's really hard to stop because remember, we're in transition. So you're going to have a defense going from here, jumping to help, and then we're diving somebody. There's a lot going on. And as we're running 32 minutes, it gets harder and harder. If we want to go the 1-4 action, that's when maybe we've gone all the way through our reads. No one, they've dived, we don't have anything, and we go to the 4 and we hit them. That's 1-4. You could call it 1-4 on top. We just call it 1-4. And then the last part of this that really makes this dynamic at the lower level, maybe harder, but something to strive for, is the 1-2-4. So if we go, we don't hit the 3 over the top, 5 is level with the 1. Let's say we hit the 2 and the 5 dives. The 5 dives and we can't hit the 5. It has to be because of 2 reasons. Either 1, we're really bad with the basketball and we can't hit a post and we need to work on it. I hope that's the issue because we can fix that. If the 5's getting played over the top to where we hit this 2 on the deep wing and they can't make this pass because they're being fronted, that 5's being fronted, and this 4 steps in, we're going to have the 1 just step over a little bit, and we're skipping. We're skipping to the 4. We're ignoring this 1. It takes too much time. Because if they're going to take away our front side, they have to pay it. They have to pay if they're going to take over the front side. You can't choose to do both. This is why basketball is beautiful. If you're going to choose to take one thing away, you're opening up another option to get beat. So if the 5 is getting played over the top, we're not going to the 1. The 2 is going to maybe take 1 dribble if they have to, 2 dribbles if they have to, and they're skipping. Your 5 is sealing, putting their butt right into that defender. And maybe the 4 has a shot or not, but then we're hitting them over the top right at the rim. We're teaching them how to make that pass right from that good ball position. Maybe it's a jab step around the ear, all those sorts of things. They can't stop it all. And then if you can have a 4 who can drive, we can't make that pass still. We're punching and we're spraying, right? We're getting to that X as hard as we can, trying to score, and then we're punching out. It really becomes really simple. And that's about as complicated as we'll get right now. And we can do that at all levels. We can do that from 3rd grade on to varsity, and it becomes repeatable. And what it does is it teaches the girls how to play consistently fast. It enforces skills that we care about. It makes practicing really easy because as a 4, you can train girls, hey, your job is to get this inbound as quick as you can, but your shots are going to come from this place. 98% of the time, they're going to come from here. You can work with them on stepping into every time on that shot, or you're going to have an up fake, or you're going to have a pass to the 5. If you have a 5, it makes it really simple. Either you catch it here, up fake, go, or you're working on really simple post moves, nothing crazy. You know, if they're playing behind you, we're teaching them to square up and just go. 2, you're going to shoot 50 shots a day right there because that's your job. right? And if you don't have anything, you might do an up fake 1 or 2 dribble shot, but your life isn't very complicated. 3, you're working on layups over the top. Maybe you're catching it right here. What we do see sometimes is teams will overhelp. So if they're like this, and this doesn't matter against zone or man. It's actually better against zone because you're going to beat girls down the court. So you got to beat them down the court. And they'll try to overhelp. So they'll be here, 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 and then the 3 here, and the 2 will take a couple dribbles. This 3 is going to be wide open, and she may have a shot, or she may do an up fake and then drive baseline and have a girl right there coming around in the dunk spot. So you really can't take everything away. And the speed and the consistent speed is what makes this so impossible to stop over 32 minutes. I'll send some of those videos of LMU, and you're going to fall in love with seeing how fast they play. Girls can do this. I watched it this summer. They can do it. And I watched college men do this too, and they beat us pretty good. Just making sure I didn't miss anything here. And that's the system. It starts with the 4 and the fast break and getting the ball out of the basket. Oh, I do want to say a little bit about rebounding. And even if we get, let's say the 2 gets the rebound, right? We're getting it to the 1, and the 2's still filling. 4's trailing, 5 here, 3's running this way. It doesn't really matter who gets the ball. We're finding that 1 and going. I mean, unless your 2 is like getting the rebound out here, they can take it too. As long as it's a natural fast break, we'll go. But as long as there's some opportunity to get it to the 1, we're taking it. But rebounding, we want to get our 2 to their 1. So most of our shots are going to come from here, 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 here. Unless it's a layup by 3, we'll get some shots over here. But if a lot of our shots are going to be by this 2 on this right wing, it shouldn't be a surprise when the ball's coming. It's a message on it is shoot. When they're shooting it, we're sending 1 right there. We're sending 4 right here. We're sending 3 right there. I don't really believe in sending someone too far back. This 1 can hang out above the free throw line. They can still make it back. But we're going to the opposite side of the rim, right? They're kind of working back to the front of the side of the rim. And this 2, anybody who tells you, hey, you didn't follow your shot, that's BS. That's old school basketball. You know, when you'll hear up in the stands when somebody shoots it and it'll come right back to them to where they were. And somebody will say, oh, you didn't follow your shot. No, we believe in diving. This girl's coming in too. Like it shouldn't be a surprise. You're shooting it. You're diving as hard as you can. We're sending people in. We're not just leaving this girl out there or following her shot. We're coming to the other side. And that's how we rebound. We have to have 2 rebounds. Out of our regular set, this is some of what we did this summer with Coach Braz. And this is just to help you serve as we're jogging your memory. And just a reminder, obviously we'll do this during the season. But let's get into it. So it's going to be the same spots as our system. So we're going to have our 1 right on that right side. 2 is going to be in that deep wing gray area. This is going to be our 4. 5 in our regular set stays opposite of that 4. Remember, they can occupy the guards these 4 spots. And they occupy those 4 spots, those 3 guards, and they take up the spot where one of the 4 or the 5 aren't up here. So if the 4 is here, we're going to have 2 guards over here. If the 4 is here, they're going to have to be 2 guards over there. So they take up the spots where the 4 and the 5 aren't. The 4 and the 5 are either in 4 spots. 4 and the 5 are either here, 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 here. So if the 4 is right here, the 5's got to be right there. If the 4 is right here, the 5's got to be right here. If the 5's up here, the 4's got to be right here. And if the 5's right here, the 4's got to be right here. We'll walk that a little bit. I went through that pretty quick. But you're really you're tied into two different spots. We have to start thinking about it from guards and wings, guards and posts, or forwards. So dive is going to be the option where we're actually going to call it out. Dive is really to tell the one what to do. Everybody plays off the one. So dive is going to be where the one hits the two. Right? We have to do a good job getting open. V-cut maybe, slow to fast, jumping through leather, going through the ball, catching it. Dive tells the one to cut hard and get out of the way to the opposite side. Once this happens, the four is going to take one step and then go and set a screen one step off the lane to the three. Now the three has a couple options. If the three curls hard, we're telling the five to move out of the way. This is the only time, one of the only times you tell the five to break the rule, because as she's curling, that five's got to get their defender out of the way and the four's popping back. So really, you're getting, the one's coming over to this side. The five's getting out to the opposite side because the four's popping back. This is a really good option for us. It gets a shooter back to the ball in the four, and it gets our three, who's, you know, one of whoever that three is going to be, curling around to the basket. So the place that we'll finish in is we have the one dive all the way through, two still has the ball, four set this screen and is popping back for a shot, three is curling around. We're going to post up for half a second, probably getting to about right there in all reality. And then if we don't have anything, we better be getting a shot or a drive hard. Three's coming out this way, one's coming up. Or we better be getting a drive hard here, back to the one side and punch and spray. I'm not interested in running stuff for a long time here. Really, we ran an action. If we didn't get anything, then, and we still don't have anything, Karsten or our one better be getting the ball, then we're getting into Vegas or Texas and coming off hard back to that right side. And if they start playing that right side, we'll just switch it to the left. The other option in dive is if the one has it, 4, 2, 5, 3. If we go to the 2, one dives, and let's say we take one step and then come back and set this screen, and let's say the 3 pops because their player is playing underneath the screen. They would curl if they were trailing, meaning on their hip, we're going to curl around because they're following. But if they're staying underneath the screen, the 3 is going to go, and then the 4 is going to dive, and we're really going to want some post-ups here. So now we're in this position where the 2 has the ball, the 3 popped, 5's right here, should be running up the lane at this point. And then they're filling up a little bit. We're going to get a lot of post touches here. If we don't have anything, we're going to go and try and skip it to the 5 and then hit it over the top, kind of like in the system. So that's dive. And we're running through these pretty fast. Let's go to wing. Wing is, again, just a call for the point guard. I want our 2 over here, so it's consistent with the system. We're running most of our sets to the right side. We're going to be playing so fast that it's going to be that way. If they switch it up, we'll switch it up, but I think we'll be fine. The wing, that's going to be tell us we want to go screen the wing. So dive is where the one's diving. Wing is where we hit the 4 first. We're not hitting the 2 first. We're hitting the 4. The one's going to go and screen the 2. 4, feel free to catch this, eyes to the rim. If you have the ability to go and attack, let's attack. If you feel like you can win this matchup and that girl can't guard you, let's go attack. We're not waiting around just to run offense. 3's going to come up just a smidge. 2's going to curl hard to the rim. 5's going to stay there. 2, if you don't get anything, you're coming back out. 1 is now, let's say 4 wasn't able to do anything. We're hitting the 3. Remember, a good V cut, slow to fast, coming out. Maybe get a back cut. This is a really good chance for a back cut opportunity right here, you know, where we go slow to fast and then plant and go. That's a great opportunity for a back cut. Would love to see some of that this year. If we don't get that, then the 4 is going to go back and they're going to screen the 1. So let's see where the positions we're at now. 2 just cut through on the curl. They're coming back out. 5's right here. 4 and the 1 is popping back after the screen, is going to go set this screen. 1's going to catch it from the 3. And 3, same thing. If you feel like you can take it from here, take it from here. I mean, if you can go baseline or over the top, let's play basketball. And we're going to catch it 1, okay? We're going to catch it square, feet in the air, all that good stuff. And then the 4 is going to follow it back with a pick and roll. 5's coming this way. We're coming off hard downhill. 2's going to space our best shooter. If they drop, which they will, we're going to hit the 2. 4's coming down the lane. 5's rolling up. As that's all happening, it's really good action for us. So I'll draw it one more time so you can kind of see where we're at. It starts with the 1 hitting the 4, 1 going over, and this is why it's called wing. It tells the 1 to go screen the wing. 2 comes around. 4, you're looking to take it. If you don't have anything, hit 3. 2 goes back, fills same side. 4, you're going to go set a screen for 1 who just set this screen for 2. So we're in this position. 4 is going to set this screen. 3, 2 went out, same side, 5's right here. 1's going to catch it. 4 is going to follow it with another ball screen. You're going to come off hard. 5's going to come around, loop, come up. 4's diving. And then we're looking for good options off of that. So that's off the regular stuff, dive and wing. Out after out of regular 2. So point guard, think about if we are running if we want a shot for a 2, we're going to run out of the unbalanced set. We're going to run pop, right? We want them coming off of that cross screen, down screen action. If we want a option for the 4, we're going to run ISO. If we want specifics, so out of regular, we're going to have a couple of calls in which we're going to have actual actions out of it. So we have already dive and we have wing, and those are reads. These are going to be specific plays out of regular. So strong is going to be for the 3, for a 3 post up. That's because we really want the 3 to post up there. And then we're going to have we'll call it beef. Our 4 is not going to like it, but that's fine. Strong and beef, they're both post up for 4. So if we have strong or beef, it's out of our regular sets, and they're both post up. And this is, if there's a mismatch that we're seeing happening out of it, we need to go to it. So strong is going to start. Remember, we're in that regular set, like we're doing a dive. So strong, we're going to hit the 2, 1's going to dive through, and we're just going to set this screen. 5's going to go away, and we're curling the 3 around, 4 popping back, and we're going for a post up there for the 3. That's it. So strong is where we're actually calling it. We're not reading this anymore where we can pop or strong. We're just going to do it. So I'm saying no read. I'm not allowing you to read it for this possession because I think I see something where I want Landry or Macy or a 3 to post up hard there. Beef is just, now we're going to post up the 4, and how we do that is it's still going to be out of the dive set. We're going to have the 2, 5, 3, 4. If we hit the 2, or sorry, we're going to hit the 4. Nope, I'm wrong. We're going to hit the 2 out of the dive set. We're going to go here. 3 is going to pop, and 4 is going to post hard, and we're looking for that. So both are out of the dive set. One strong is for the 3, beef is for the 4, and yeah, they'll hate that. But maybe we'll change names. Yeah, I'll think on that. But strong and beef for right now. Is off of this is going to be out of our unbalanced set. This first one's called pop. So point guard, This is for a 3-point for a 2. So when I come to you and say, hey, let's get a 3-point for a 2, this is going to be one of those plays that I'm going to want you to answer. Like, hey, yeah, let's run pop because we need to get our 2 a 3 right here. There's a lot of other good options out of this, but that's the byproduct of pop. So it starts with the ball with the 1. We're unbalanced because we have 3 on one side, 2 on the other. So unbalanced. We're going to go, the action starts with the 5 setting an up screen as 1's bringing the ball down. 3 is going to go over the top towards the middle of the key. We want them to knock this defender off balance or keep them honest. 5 is going to pop hard. From this position, when there's this pass, 2 is going to go down and set a screen for 3. So a lot going on right there, but a good hard screen. So now we have the 3 out because they first got that first screen down to the block, and then the 2 hit them for a screen when the ball came to the 5. So now the 5 has the ball up top, 2's down on the block, 1's right here, and 4's right here. On this, the 5's going to swing it to the 3. Not a real chance for a back door because it's a closed post. We have somebody right there, so make sure we get open by doing a great cut. We should be coming off of a screen, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. We just got to come off that screen hard and with great pace. As that passes in the air, the 2 is going to come over to the opposite side of the key, and they're going to set a screen for 4 to come off. You're going to go right at the center of the screen. You're going to take 1 hard step over, and you're going to sprint to this other side of the block. We might get the ball's with the 3 now. We can't make this pass to the 4, and we can't make this cut until the 3 has it. We might get this pass right here for a nice post up, which would be great. But now the 2's right here. 1's going to filter away as that cut's happening, and 5, after you pass it, is going to come to about the middle and set a nice hard down screen for 2 to pop up for a shot. So the ending of where we'll be is 2 will be right here. 4 just came off of that cross, that flex cut. 3, 5, 1. 3 has the ball. We look for the 4, can't get it. 5's going to come down, screen for the 2, pop. 5's going to then look for the post up. If we don't have anything, drive. And then we're probably in Texas after that point if we don't get that shot because of the shot clock. So that's pop. Pop, we're looking for a 3 for the 2. ISO is really fun, super complicated. Not. Out of our unbalanced set, where is our 2's right here and our 4. This is really where it gets fun. We're going to start this in the same position. Start it with this back screen, and they're going to go over the top. But it's all dummy action because they're going to try to get open. If you're overplayed, you're going to go back door. But we're going to get them right there. And then we're coming over. 3, you're going to filter away because you just got this back screen. 2, you're going to be a little deeper. You're going to filter away. And we're going to set a double screen for the 2 coming off. And then 4, if you catch it right here, you're just looking to ISO. Get to the hoop, dribble hard. If you don't have anything, you have this double coming back. So let's say the ball went to the 4, the 3 got this screen, came over, 2's right here, 5 had the ball, 1 didn't have anything. We're just going, filtering, looking for that shot over the top, but really it's designed for this 4 to have an isolation on this side. And if they get stuck, they have a 2 coming over the top. And then we'll dive this 5 if there's nothing down. So ISO's for the 4 on the wing to have an isolation play, or the 2 coming back to have another shot. And then pop is for the 2 having a 3-pointer up the top. So that's from our unbalanced set. All right, 1. This is where you get to start to call your own number. You're thinking I get to pass it all the time. One's my own. So these are your own set of plays. The first one's going to be Texas. Texas is where we're actually going to set the screen to the side which we're going. So we're going to have the 3 over here, and I'm going to put the 4 right here. Texas is going to be where we're actually screening to the right. One, you make a hard move. You drive as hard as you can. We're looking for that 2. Maybe they take a little step up, find that window, right? Where we're just kind of shuffling up, finding that window. If our player stays down and helps, we're making it as far as distance as possible. We have somebody who can do that really well. And as the 5 starts to roll down, 4 is going to replace up. That's it. 3, you're also kind of trying to find a window. Maybe there's that cross-court pass. But Texas is screen to the ball side, or screen to the side we're going. You can still reject this screen. So if you don't have anything, you can still go this way. 3 dives down a little bit, and 4 is going to go to the other side, and we're going to dive and roll up. It's not saying you can't. It's just designed for a screen towards your right. Vegas, we're actually going to have the 2 over here, the 1, and then we're going to have the 4 and the 3, and then we're going to have the 5 right here. Vegas is a screen not to the way, so let's put you a little farther back. We're going to have the 3 screen down, 4 come out, just dummy action, and then 3 is going to pop out. But we're going to go act like we're going, and then we're going opposite, trying to hit 2. So both of them are high ball screens. Vegas is just a screen not on the same side, so 5 is going to dive down, and then 4 is already kind of replacing up. So they're going to come off, and then they're going to replace up. So Vegas and Texas. Texas is a screen to the side you're going. Vegas is a screen away from the side you're going, but you're still going to that right side. Again, these ones are really fun, really simple, really effective. Star, we come up, and the first action is 1 has the ball. All it is you're going to have your feet just below the 3-point line. 4, you're going to turn, set a screen for 3. This is dummy action. And 1, you're going to act like maybe you're looking, but you're just driving down, looking for a collapse on 2. If they help from 5, we're going to step up right here, maybe hit a dump pass. If they help from 2, we're going to go there to the 2, obviously for a shot. If they don't help at all, you're going to have a layup. That's it. Star, you're the star 1. So that's you calling your own number. Call your own number. Okay, diamond. Diamond's a little more complicated, not much. It starts the same way. Set a screen the same way. 4, 3 comes off, but instead of just staying, on this one I should say too, as they're driving 4, you're popping. So maybe if she doesn't have anything, she can turn and hit you for a 3. On this one, after you set the screen, 1's going to act like they're going to go. They're going to do a little drag dribble out. 4 is going to go to the block and post hard. As this is happening, 5 stepping up, setting a flare screen for 3, coming out this way, and then posting. And then we're either trying to get it there, or we're hitting 2 really fast 1, and we're hitting that for a post up. So this is a post for the 4. So again, it starts off the same way, 4 dives, and then 1, instead of going all the way, you're not the star anymore, you drag dribble. 4 is the person trying to get it in the post. This is Gonzaga and Zag. We'll run this limited, but we'll still run it. This is where we come down, and we're going to be in those same positions. Well, actually not. We're going to be the 2 over here, so almost like the Unbalanced. We're going to have the 5 down in more of this deep corner. We had it over last year. I didn't like this, so we're going to start almost towards where that 3-point starts. We're going to have the 3 right here, and we're going to have the, mix these up. This is going to be the 4, this is going to be the 5. So the 5 is going to come down, kind of set a screen, but really post. The 3 is going to come around right there. The 1's going to dribble over this side. So now we're in this position. 3 right there. 5's posting hard. 1 right there. And then as that action's happening, the 4's coming up and setting a hard screen. And when this pass goes from the 1 to the 3, this 2 is coming off of this flare screen from the 4. As they start to drive, the 2 sprints off, the 4 pops. We really want to pop out. and we're looking for that drive. So it's really, as a point guard, Gonzaga's ISO for a 3, like it's an isolation play for the 3. So if we want the 3 to touch the ball, Gonzaga is a great option for the 3 to touch the ball. If we feel like the 3 hasn't touched it off of a dead ball for a while or hasn't gotten anything and we need some free throws or something, we want to go 3. Zag, we're looking for that 3. So everything's the same. 1 dribbles over here. 5's right here. 3 comes up. And now we're just really looking to hit that 2. So 4's right here. 2's right there. We're going to go there, sprint, start to drive hard, and we're making that pass for the 2. Who knows? We might get a pass. But Zag is a shot for a 2. Or shot to the 2 for a 3. So point guard, when I ask you, hey, what's a shot that you can that gets the 2 a 3 opportunity? We have pop and we have zag. If we need an isolation for a 3, the isolation for the 3 to get the ball, we have Gonzaga and we have strong. If we have an isolation play for the 4, we have beef and we have ISO. So we got a lot of different options there, and then obviously we have wing and dive. All right, so this is just for our point guards and our guards to kind of keep track. We really don't have many sets in reality, but it can kind of all jumble together. The biggest thing is we want to make sure that we're running the right sets for the right people and at the right time. So if we have, let's say, our 2 just going off 2 or 3 possessions in a row, we want to keep getting them the ball. So each of our sets are designed for having a main set, and then there's a counter to that set. It's all about having a set and then a counter to it, so defenses don't catch on. So for the 1, if you want to call your own number and you know that you can take a girl, or you know that you have a mismatch, or you're feeling good, you have Texas, you have Vegas, and you have Star. Those are all 3 of your options. If we want to get a shot for the 2, remember 2s are our best shooter, so they're probably going to get a 3. So we want 2s getting a 3. We have pop. That comes out of the Unbalanced set. That's the cross screen, down screen. We have zag. That's where they're getting the flare screen. And then we have ISO, kind of. That's where they're getting the double, but it's really the ISOs for the 4. Then if we want something for the 3, really the 3 is going to be our person who's not as great a shooter, but they can still make that shot, but we want to get them on the block. So one of the sets for them is strong, and that's out of the regular set where they're curling down and getting a nice post up, and then Gonzaga where they're getting an ISO at the elbow and sweeping through. Couple of our sets for 4. The 4 are beef. That's out of the regular set. Instead of the curl around from the 3, the 4 setting the screen, the 3's popping, and then the 4's diving to the block. So that's beef. Diamond, where they're getting a post up there too, and then ISO. So ISO's where in the Unbalanced set where they're just on the wing and we're letting them go to work. 5, you don't have any right now. You're an option in all of them. As we start to see our 5s kind of skill improve and hopefully we have people who step in that we have to have plays for them, we'll start to draw it up. So 5, that's kind of a call to you. If you want your own plays, we want you to we want to see some really improvement, just being dominant down there, and we'll start giving you guys